everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly and I'm so excited to share with you guys my 3-year-old holiday gift guide. Alright, so all of these gifts and toys are definitely Montessori inspired. I love Montessori and I love using those principles in order to teach my kids. So my gifts that I give are definitely inspired by that. And just as a little disclaimer here, I just want to add that you guys definitely don't need to buy a whole bunch of things for your kids. They will love getting anything handmade or getting experiences. They will be just happy to spend time with you guys, and they are going to be so excited for literally anything and everything because that is just the joy of kids. So I have this video broken up into 5 different sections, and the very first are building activities. So this is definitely more open-ended activities and things, but I have learned that my 3-year-old loves to build, and I don't know if it's necessarily just him, but I have so many different building activities and things that we have used and really love. The very first is trains. Obviously trains are going to be so much fun. We have this train set here, and I just got this on Amazon. What I really like about it is it has this crane. So he's able to lower the magnet and pick up different things, and I think that has been a ton of fun to add into our train set. I think my son's very favorite building activity right now are magnet tiles. You're probably going to find this activity on a lot of people's holiday gift guides because it's just literally so good. My son plays with this every single day. He builds so many different things from it right now. He's been super into spaceships. So you know, he's been making lots of spaceships. I like the ones that has cars because you're able to build a lot of things on top of the car, and he also really loves cars. A building activity that my son has recently started to get into are Hot Wheels tracks. So we have a bunch of Hot Wheels cars. We actually just bought them on Facebook Marketplace for a really good price. I would definitely recommend looking there, getting used cars. But these are really fun, and he's really been getting into making his own tracks and pushing his cars along, finding ways to push his cars down. He can learn a ton of things just from pushing cars down a track. Hi. You want to play with these? Okay. The next 3 things I am thinking about getting my son for like the whole building category are first a marble track. I know he would really love doing a marble track, but you could also probably make a marble track pretty easily using paper towel rolls or something like that, and just getting some marbles. I also am a little bit nervous to have marbles around just because I have a young child. Okay, oh yeah, okay, go play with those cars. Sorry, you're probably going to see my son throughout this video because he is playing with all of these toys that I have out. But the next building activity I would love to get him are the stacking building rocks. So I'll place pictures here because I don't have them yet. I'm kind of waiting to see if they go on sale for Black Friday or anything, but I think that these are so much fun. My husband really loves to stack rocks outside. Okay, next is a little nativity scene. So it has like a little star and this stable, and it comes with tons of wooden animals and Mary and Jesus, but it's like very simple. So I think that this is a lot of fun. I get it out every year for Christmas. My son really loves to play with it, to play with the different animals. It's a great open-ended activity. It looks beautiful on my shelf, and I just love that he can have a nativity set that he gets to play with, and I think that your kids would love to have a little nativity set. If you guys celebrate Christmas, it would be a lot of fun for them. But I think buying these stacking rocks could be so much fun for them to do it together and to just learn how to make a high tower, and finding ways to balance things would be so much fun. And last are Legos. So I would not get the like little mini Legos, but I would get like the middle-sized ones. So ones that are a little bit smaller than like the Duplo, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Legos, but the medium-sized ones that he can really learn to put together and make some big things from. Legos are definitely a fun building activity. My next category is for gross motor skills. So at this age, kids have so much energy, and my son is no different. Something that we have really loved having is our trampoline, and I would definitely recommend, if you have the space for it, to get a trampoline for your kids. They're going to love jumping around and getting out all that energy. Next is a balance bike, and I have heard so many amazing stories about kids being able to ride a bike very early because they rode a balance bike when they were little. So if your son or daughter is 3 and up, I think that this is a really great activity, and they might even learn how to use it faster. But I think that a 3-year-old is really going to love to learn how to balance on a bike and learn how to go really quick. My last item on the gross motor skill list is a scooter. So this is probably something I'm going to get my son for his birthday coming up, but I think a scooter is going to be a lot of fun to add into our just like daily walks. He has used some friend scooters in the past and have loved it. So a scooter is a great idea for a 3-year-old. My next category is practical life. So these are things that they can use to really hone in on their practical life skills. And the very first item is a kid's knife. And you can do a set like this one here. This is probably what I'm going to be going with. I'm honestly surprised I don't have a child knife yet, to be honest with you guys. But it really hasn't been something my son has been interested in, and only recently has he really been wanting to cut up his own things. So this is a great activity for a 3-year-old, or maybe even a little bit earlier, with those safety knives that you can find. Next is a spray bottle and a little cloth. So if you can find a small spray bottle, I'll put a picture here of what I'm looking at, that little hands can work. It's going to be awesome. And a cloth or a rag, literally anything, is going to be a lot of fun for them to just spray. My son loves to use spray bottles and spray water around the house when I give him that activity to do, and it seriously lasts him a long time as he just is like spraying stuff, and it definitely isn't a very expensive toy. Next is a small kid size vacuum. We actually have our Dyson vacuum, which works really well because he can hold it and push the trigger, and if I take off the long bar, it's like a short vacuum that he can use. But you can also buy a kid's vacuum, and he just loves to vacuum with me. Like, it's so much fun, and it's a practical life skill, and he feels like he's accomplishing something and he's helping me, and I think it's a lot of fun for kids to be able to use these practical life skills. And I think honestly a kid would be really excited about getting like their size version of a vacuum. The last item on this list is a small plant that they can take care and grow themselves. So you can either start with a seed and teach them about how the seed is going to grow into a plant, or if you want to buy them an actual plant that they can just practice watering, you can buy them a little watering can to go with it. It would be so much fun for them to learn how to keep something alive, learn how things grow, different things like that, and watch their plant really bloom and blossom. My next category is a learning category. So these are more closed-ended toys, things that they are going to really teach him. And a lot of these items I don't actually have because as my son is just turning 3, we are going to be kind of going into the next phase and step. And so these are things that I'm definitely going to be buying for my son, and I don't really have them here to show you guys. But the very first thing is life cycle board and figurines. So I think these are so much fun. My son has really been into learning a little bit more about life cycles, about how things start as a baby and grow older, or like plants start as seeds and turn into trees, different things like that. And so both the board and the figurines I think are so much fun. Kids also love little miniature items that they can hold, and being able to hold and being able to feel things can really teach kids a lot. So both of those I think are tons of fun, and I found some really great things I'll put here on Etsy and just on Amazon that you can look at and get. Next is a moon cycle puzzle. So I think that this is so cute. I love that it's wood. I love that like it teaches the moon cycles. My son has really been fascinated by the moon lately and by rocket ships and things like that. So I would love to get just like a moon cycle puzzle. This is also something I think I could probably make something similar using felt or different things like that. So if you're a very crafty person, I think you could probably make something like this to teach your kids about the phases of the moon. All right, next on my list are puzzles. So this is like a place that you really need to check in with your child and where they're at. So my son hasn't really been interested in puzzles a lot, but recently is getting into it. So he's at a phase where puzzles like this, where he can match, they're like the little wooden puzzles, are a lot of fun for him. Your child who's 3 might be a little bit more advanced in puzzles and might be ready for the very first jigsaw puzzle. And so I would just look and see where your child is at and get puzzles that are going to work for them and make them excited. Next are some small figurines. So I kind of talked about it when I was talking about life cycle figurines and boards, but this is just like a bunch of like little small musical instruments. I can put a picture here, or they have little small flowers. You can take a picture of them and make them into flashcards so that your kids can match. This is going to be a really fun and easy activity for your kids to do, and it will last them a really long time. You can also put them into a bag and have them feel what the item is and tell you what it is just from the feel of it as well. There's so many different ways you can play with small figurines. The next item that I'm going to be getting my son are sandpaper letters. He's been really into learning his letters lately, and it is lots of fun to see him name letters and different things like that. So sandpaper letters, I'll put a picture here, are just simple letters, and the letter is like traceable, so it feels kind of like a sandpaper, which is why it's called that. And they can just put their finger on it and trace the different letters and see how they feel and get a really good feel for the letters. So you can do lots of different activities with these as well, and find different objects that start with a certain letter and do a little like unit on M or whatever, and I'm super excited to get these for my son. Next is this human body puzzle, and it is a 4-layer puzzle, and I think that kids would love this. They're able to learn more about the human body, what is inside of them, like their brains and their muscles and their skeleton and their heart, different organs, their skin, things like that. So it's a very anatomically correct puzzle, which I personally like, but it may not be for you. So I would just like keep that in mind. But I think that this puzzle would be tons of fun for your 3-year-old who is learning how to do puzzles, but also learning more about their bodies and what they can do with them. So last on the list are board games. So at this age, they're really starting to get into board games. I think board games are tons of fun. So I'm planning on getting him a couple of board games, and this one I think is a lot of fun. This is called First Orchard, and it is a cooperative game, which I really like because they're able to learn how to work together with kids instead of being so competitive all the time, and it's great for color matching and sorting, things like that. Alright, so the last category on my list is stocking stuffers. So I think stocking stuffers are definitely things that you really need to look at what your child needs and like what they enjoy and play with all the time, because they're just like some little fun items that I feel like you can kind of do whatever with, you know? So something that my son really loves right now is dinosaurs. And so I found these, I'll show them here, these dinosaur matching set on Etsy, and I love them. I think they're so cute, and I love that they are wooden and they have the names on them. They look like the real dinosaurs. So I'm getting him that matching set. Art supplies are another great thing to put into a stocking stuffer. I love doing art supplies like clay. My son has been very much into watercolor painting right now, and painting just in general. So those are great things you can put into a stocking. Next are wooden cars, or just cars in general. My son has been loving cars, and we really honestly could not have enough cars in his opinion. So just getting like a couple of wooden cars or construction vehicles, different things like that to put in the stocking stuffer, I think is always like a great idea. I'm planning on getting this set here for both my kids and just kind of like splitting it up between them, and they can each have some new cars to play with. You can also go the more practical route and add some socks, some beanies, or like mittens into kids' stockings, and they will love them. There's something about getting like little mittens on their hands. They think it's tons of fun to put on. My son loves socks, especially if they have dinosaurs or cars on them or different things like that. He would just be really excited about, and those are things that I don't usually buy. Usually I buy just plain white socks because it makes it easier for me. And so he would be excited to put on a pair of socks that have something that are a little bit more fun for him. Next is a train whistle, and I haven't bought this yet, so I don't have it to show you guys, but I will just show a picture here. Train whistles are tons of fun. My son has been really into trains, and so he can play with his train set and be able to whistle his whistle, and it will be lots of fun. It fits into his stocking really well, and I think it's going to be a great addition to our musical instruments. And last is books. So books are a lot of fun to have in the stocking or just right next to the stocking. Something that I think is great is this See for Christmas book. I shared this in my last holiday gift guide as well for 1-year-olds. It's just going to be a great classic book. I love it because the pictures are more realistic and it teaches letters as well. I also love that this book is centered on Jesus Christ. If you're celebrating Christmas, I feel like sometimes everything can get caught up in the presents and Santa and things like that. And so having a book that celebrates Christ, I think, is really important. Speaking of those other books, my son has really been into How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I love that this is just like the classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas book. And it's tons of fun to read with him. We also really love this Little Blue Truck Christmas book. It also lights up at the end, which he thinks is lots of fun. And then a book that he actually has been really loving that we got from the library and ended up buying because he bit the edge was this Marvelous Vehicles book. And what I really love about it is that it is very realistic and has so many different types of vehicles. Like, I didn't even know there were so many different types of vehicles in the world. But it's like something he loves, and he really can learn about tons of different new vehicles every time he opens it. Okay guys, so that is it for my 3-year-old toddler holiday gift guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys liked, what you'll be getting your kids, your favorite toy that you're most excited about for giving them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!